Hello everyone, it's Teacher Markee once again, and welcome to another video lecture. Today's topic is about media and information languages. Today, we will learn about the different technical and media codes, conventions, and messages, and how they affect the audience, producers, and other stakeholders. Let's get started. An important first step in becoming media and information literate is to understand how information, ideas, and meaning are communicated through and by various media and other information providers, such as libraries, archives, museums, and the internet. Each medium has its own language or grammar that works to convey meaning in a unique way. Language in this sense means the technical and symbolic ingredients or codes and conventions that media and information professionals may select and use in an effort to communicate ideas, information, and knowledge. Media codes and conventions are like the building blocks of all the media around us. They generally have an agreed meaning or connotation to their audience. Generally, there are three types of media codes, namely technical codes, symbolic codes, and written codes. But for the purpose of this video, we will only focus on the first two types. The first one is technical codes. They include sound, camera angles, types of shots, and lighting. They may also include, for example, ominous music to communicate danger in a feature film, or high-angle camera shots to create a feeling of power in a photograph. Let's look at some examples. High-angle shot. A high-angle shot is a technique where the camera looks down on the character or subject from an elevated perspective. A high-angle shot can convey narrative and character information and elicit emotional response. In this high-angle shot, we see Frodo Baggins, one of the major characters in The Lord of the Rings, and he's often powerless beneath the ring, like it's pressing down on him. Low-angle shot. A low-angle shot is a shot from a camera angle positioned anywhere below the eye line, pointing upward. It can even be below the character's feet, which is called an extreme low-angle shot. A low-angle shot can make a hero seem powerful, vulnerable, and can increase perceived height of an object. In this low-angle shot from the Matrix movie, these agents are in control here. Also, they expect to find Neo, the major protagonist in the movie, sitting at his desk during his workday. Close-up shot. A close-up shot is a photograph or movie shot taken of a subject or object at close range intended to show greater detail to the viewer. Close-up shots signal to the audience that something is important, and this can be a prop or reaction. But often, it is best when the subject or object has a significant influence on the story and the viewer's understanding of the story. In this close-up shot, we see the "Here's Johnny" scene from the movie The Shining, in which Jack Nicholson peers through a hole in a door he has just created with an axe. Extreme close-up shot. An extreme close-up shot frames a subject very closely, often so much so that the outer portion of the subject are cut off by the edges of the frame. On an actor, this is commonly used to show specific portions of the body, like the face or hip, but it can go closer to show only an actor's mouth or even a single eye. Inanimate objects can also be framed in an extreme close-up shot, but everything is based on the scale and size of the object. In this extreme close-up shot, we see Nina, the main character in the movie Black Swan, in her transformation that happens quite literally. The extreme close-up shot shows how feathers are growing in Nina's back. Other examples of technical codes are audio, which is the expressive or naturalistic use of sound in a film or production, and lighting, which is the manipulation of natural or artificial light to selectively highlight specific elements of the scene. Another type of media code is symbolic codes. Symbolic codes include the language, dress, or actions of characters, or iconic symbols that are easily understood. For example, a red rose may be used symbolically to convey romance, or a clenched fist may be used to communicate anger. Symbolic codes are social in nature. What this means is that these codes live outside the media product themselves, but would be understood in similar ways in the real life of the audience. For example, if you saw somebody receive a red rose in a film, you would assume there is a romantic relationship between the two characters. If you gave somebody a red rose in real life, you might be hoping the same. Here are some examples of symbolic codes. Setting. Setting is the time and place of the narrative. When discussing setting, you can describe the setting of the whole story or just a specific scene. A setting can be as big as the outback or space, or as small as a specific room. A setting can even be a created atmosphere or frame of mind. Next is mise en scène. Mise en scène is a French term that means everything within the frame. In media terms, it has become to mean the description of all the objects within a frame of the media product and how they have been arranged. This includes set design, costume, props, or staging and composition. Another important symbolic code, especially in films, is acting. Actors portray characters in media products and contribute to character development, creating tension or advancing the narrative. The actor portrays a character through facial expression, body language, vocal qualities, movement, and body contact. The left photo is a movie poster of John Wick 2, showing several guns all pointed in one direction. Guns may symbolize violence and death. The right photo is a movie poster of No Other Woman. 3 people are lying down in one bed. Lingerie and bed may symbolize romance, while how they are positioned in bed may mean third party or infidelity. Notice how when you're watching a TV show or a movie, some characters or turn of events are sometimes predictable. That's probably because the people behind those productions followed specific media conventions. In the media context, conventions are accepted ways of using media codes. They are closely connected to the audience expectations of a media product. In film, conventions are used to represent certain topics, characters, and events, and more. When you start to scrutinize these conventions, you will find that, often, they are used to shape how we think about a character or event. For example, when a fairy tale is written, it commonly starts with "Once upon a time" and ends with "and they lived happily ever after." The main characters are often portrayed as a damsel in distress that must be saved by a prince, and there is a presence of magical characters like witches, fairies, talking animals, and moving objects. For action films, guns, bombs, fight scenes, and car chase are necessary. The locations are often in abandoned buildings, shanties, and other far-flung areas. Also, policemen and other law enforcers are often not involved or often come in late. And the main characters are portrayed as very strong and invincible. When reading an article in a newspaper or magazine, or when watching a movie or listening to a song, We are being exposed to a variety of media messages, and we cannot always assume that everybody would have the same level of understanding. This is because each audience member brings to each media encounter a unique set of life experiences, like age, gender, education, cultural upbringing, etc., which, when applied to the text or combined with the text, create unique interpretations. By considering the core concepts behind every media message, you equip yourself with an ability to analyze and interpret a message, and to accept or reject its legitimacy. Take a look at the picture on your screen. The Vatican's official news service described the incident as Pope Francis greeted the faithful, a woman tugged his arm, causing a shooting pain to which the Pope reacted with an impatient gesture to free himself from her grip. What is your reaction to this incident? And lastly, media and information has different stakeholders. They're not only limited to big companies, channels, and brand communities. They include everyone who creates, publishes, and is exposed to media and information. Producers are the people engaged in the process of creating and putting together media content to make a finished media product. Audience are the group of consumers for whom a media message was constructed, as well as anyone else who is exposed to the message. And other stakeholders include libraries, archives, museums, the internet, and other relevant information providers.